Bitcoin just got to 100K. Can you imagine that? That is insane. It just crossed 100K. Isn't that amazing? That should be so. I think you should be excited about it. If you're not excited about Bitcoin breaking your eyes, it's obviously because you're either sidelined in the market, you're not in any position in the market. If you're not in any of these categories, then I assume that you are not going to be happy at the fact that Bitcoin just crossed 100K, right? I just assume that. I just assume that. And I think that's the only reason why anybody shouldn't be happy about um, Bitcoin making new highs. If not, I can literally like expect that anyone should be happy about that. I mean, if you're in crypto, you're involved in crypto, and you've been positioning, especially with everything I've been saying for the past weeks and months, and we are accurate, our overviews, our predictions have been. There is no reason why you shouldn't be happy and excited about it. So I expect you to be, because myself, I'm really, really, really happy about it. How are you doing? Munachi Stella, greetings. Stella, how are you, Stella? Okay, good. Hope you are good and hope you're doing well. Okay, okay. So I know that somewhere around the, what's it called? I know initially I mentioned the fact that I'm going to be we're going to have, I'm going to do my live streams either around London session and the New York session. But there are going to be days whereby I may not want to come live during. I may not only come live between these times. I may want to come live on during Asia, like we did early hours of the morning. And those days will be days where we've got the exemptions of what's it called? We've got the exemptions of coming, guys. Those days will be the days where we get the exemptions of activities happening in the market, which could be a little bit slightly, when there's a lot of activity, like a lot of volatility, crazy things happen at the same time, and then there's a need to like just hop on live and just share what I think, show the chart, explain what is my next step, and blah 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 blah. We're just gonna be doing it. So what you want to do, like you know, is I'm not posting on any of the community groups if I'm live or not. I mean, just make sure you are hooked up to the YouTube, hooked up to my X platform, and also make sure you have your alert on in the public Telegram platforms as well. But majorly the YouTube and the X, because I'm going to be a little bit more active on X, but let me just be more active on YouTube first before we talk about X. But way more active on YouTube because there are a lot of things I'll be able to say. I may not be willing to type or to write out, but if you come on live, you can literally get my full expression, explanations, overview what I think, and then if it aligns with what you're doing and what you expect and what you want, and then maybe we could make money together or not, your choice. So, and I think what you want to do is get a lot of people, as many persons as possible, to be subscribed to our YouTube channels. Make sure they are the notifications are post is turned on, right? Post notifications are turned on. Make sure they are subscribed on my X or the Telegram, whatever. Just make sure they are hooked up so they don't miss out when Shifu goes live and stuff. Because we are in a very amazing season. In fact, I want to say we are in a very sweet season already. Very sweet season, and this is a lot of money to be made. So much money to be made. So if I'm coming live, it's me being able to express a lot of that possibilities of how this money is being made, and a lot of things could be shared. Then literally just confine it. And if you turned out not to be in any of the live sessions that was held, you can always like watch the replay on X, or you can watch it on YouTube. Any of these two platforms, you'll be able to catch up with it wherever it's. I mean, some persons are connected on X already, and some on YouTube. Zamira, how are you doing? Hi, family. Hope you're good. Hope you're perfect. Jeff, what's good? What's popping, Jeff? Hope your bull run portfolio is swelling up. Max, Marvel Max. It's giving like there's this platform called Supermax. There's a platform called Supermax. It sounds like that. How are you, Max? Hope you're great. Comnotch Solution Enterprises. What are you doing? What are you into? The Comnotch person. What are you into? Solution Enterprises. What solution are you providing for us? Hmm? Let's know what solution you're providing for us. So make sure you get a lot of people on. So now let's go straight to hitting the nail on the head and get out of here. So Bitcoin just crossed 100K. And when this happens, you know what happens to a lot of people? People are going to be confused. What is happening? What is happening? What's happening? People are going to be, what is going on? What is going on? This is, are we not going to get a pull up? So people, we are entering a state whereby the media is going to get very crazy. A lot of things going to happen. I mean, if you, this is things, and humans, a lot of humans have what we call short-term memory span. So it's very easy to forget a lot of things that maybe I've said earlier about what is going to be happening and stuff. The best thing you want to do to yourself this season is make sure you're glued to join our sessions and get a lot of people to join the sessions as well. So you are not carried away with people who are controlled by what happens, right? Because whatever is happening right now, a lot of people are going to be responding to it emotionally and psychologically, right? Because either they never expected it, or they don't even know what is happening, and you shouldn't be on that side of things, right? You shouldn't be on that side of things. You should be on the side of positioning, predictions, positions, profitability, right? I call it the 3 Ps. So that's the 3 Ps of Shifu. If you just join him, know that that's the 3 Ps of Shifu: predictions, position, and profitability, right? I will talk about positioning because it is key. The most important thing you need to understand in life is positioning, right? You being positioned. Common Solution Enterprise, IT consultancy. Okay, good. So during the Asian session, I gave a very amazing secrets on how to trade fundamentals. How you trade fundamentals, whether you're a forex trader, you're a crypto trader, or you trade the market, you're so that is the word. You're a trader, a composite trader like myself, I trade everything. I gave a very powerful secret on how fundamentals and trade based on the psychology of people, psychology of the masses, and I will make also emphasis on what is going to happen based on what we're expecting Trump to say. So what did Trump say? What Trump doing? So Trump said that the US is not going to be cutting rates. UK may be cutting rates, China and the other platform will be cutting rates, but the US may not be cutting rates. But this is what I think. I think what he just said is going to have it's going to strain the US economy a lot, right? It's going to strain them a lot, and there's going to be a delay, right? There's going to be a little bit of delay, but there will definitely get to a point whereby rates would have to be cut, right? They will definitely get to a point whereby rates will have to be cut, because I mean, Trump is the president. That doesn't mean everything he says is what goes, right? Because there's a process in America. Whatever he says, they have to go through we've got the House of Congress, right? We've got there's a process by which orders go through before it gets fully approved and fully executed, right? I mean, we literally saw that displayed when Trump initially doesn't. We know that Trump doesn't fancy Powell, doesn't fancy Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell was making it exercise is right by saying that he's not going anywhere immediately. He's not going anywhere soon. Now we could see that Trump could not just remove the dude. I mean, that's how it is, right? That's how the system of the government is. It's not actually the president. Trump just comes and says that, and it must be what he says. You have to know that it's not what Trump says that must happen. That is how the system works. There's a process, right? Most times it has to go to the Congress has to approve, the Senate has to approve. There's a process of executing orders from the presidency in the US. So this means that even if Trump wants to do something, that thing can actually be aborted. It can't be aborted, right? So have that in the mind that okay, whatever he's saying right now moves the markets. Is definitely going to be priced in. And remember what I always say, that when we're looking at the assets that are being priced in, so we're going to look at dollars, we're going to look at currencies, we're going to look at gold, and then we're going to look at what's next in cryptos, right? So let's look at dollar. Let's look at what is the effect on dollar and what I think is going to be happening with dollar, and then we just go there and there and there, like that, like that, like that. Okay, so if you're watching on YouTube, I think you should make sure click on the settings, and then you'll be able to automatically see the higher version or a high quality view of my screen to be able to see everything clearly. Okay, so if you see here, this is the dollar chart, and I'm beginning to fancy the 6 hours chart. 6 hours chart, 3 hours chart, 6 minutes and 3 minutes. I'm beginning to fancy this thing. I mean, if you look at 1 hour is also a product of 6 hours in a way, right? 1 hour is one candle in within 6 times. So I'm just beginning to fancy the 6 hours chart. Really, really. Don't ask me why, but I'm just beginning to fancy it. But if you look here, we've got a head and shoulders pattern, a proper head and shoulders pattern playing up here. And this is the first leg, right? The left leg, and then this is the right leg. And usually we get this sometimes in situations. There's what we call the two, I call it the, what's it called? I think that's when I'm going to, there will be some videos when I'm going to be doing teaching on like specifically on strategies, how to understand certain strategies, how to interpret certain strategies. And when I get to that point of doing those videos, you'll be able to understand. Like, say, if you want to trade, you can decide to just trade just head and shoulders pattern, and you could make a lot of money trading it. It's not about the strategy; it's about knowing other aspects, right? Which I literally teach if you are if you watch a lot of my past videos, or if you're in the forex trading network as well, you're gonna get benefit from all that. Now back to business. So let's look at this. So there's what we call the 3 pillars of head and shoulders. It's just like when we have left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. There's what we call the 3 pillars of head and shoulder. These 3 things must happen for you. When these 3 things happen, you are very confident that this is going to play out. It becomes an A+ setup. I'm gonna maybe do a specific video just to teach that. Maybe during this season whereby I'm going to be doing life like crazy in the market. But based on this way, I'm expecting the dollar to get as high as this level. And I think if the dollar gets into this zone, it's going to get priced then. All right. If it gets into this zone, it's going to get priced then, because it's going to one of our target from the start of the year, right? From the start of the year around January, February, then we say it's going to start selling from here. And it's been selling from, and I say it's going to sell for months, right? And the dollar has been obeying what we've been expecting. So if we decide to, if we want to draw a channel, let's just assume that I want to draw a channel now. And then let's just say this is going to be the channel, right? That is being drawn for the dollar. Let's assume that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. We could decide to use the key level. So let's just 1, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then we've got 6, and then we are getting this as well. It's a thing when I'm trying to get a very sweet, what is it called? Let's go to the daily time frame. That's where we should get a very clean structure. Okay, so we've got 1, okay, 2, 3, got 4, 5, we've got 6, and then we've got this. So we've got something really interesting here. Really interesting here. First off, this is how high I literally expect a lot to get into. But what is insane right now and what is crazy is that there is a tendency, right? Don't just take my word for it, but there's a tendency that if it gets, it may break above here and even go to as high as this level. That tendency is there. And that is if what I'm trying to calculate in my head right now is correct. But if it's not correct, then it's just going to get here, and then probably we're going to get it. The sell is going to continue, right? So if you look here, this is like 1, 2, right? and then 1, and then we've got 2, and then we've got 3, and then we've got 4, we've got 5, and then we've got 6, right? So if this is 7th, then this may be a breakout to very new highs. Well, if it isn't 7th, just let's assume it is 6th, right? So if this is gonna be this is 6th, that's gonna mean what we're gonna be having is like okay, coming. I think this is going to help me so I don't miscalculate. Okay, 1, okay. Yes, to be honest with you, that's what I see, that new highs could be forming there, except something else happens. But usually, but for the short term, the dollar is gonna get priced in. It's literally gonna get priced in, like new highs and new levels is what is gonna be happening to the dollar for it as well. So and then when it gets here, we're gonna reevaluate if the sell is gonna get continued. But if you look here, there's 1, honestly, there's 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, and to be very honest with you, this could most likely be a breakout. Most likely be a breakout. Well, at this zone, I'm gonna take a chill pill. I'm like, okay, we're done here. We are done here, and then wait to see what goes on, what continues with this as well. And what is interesting is that you can literally just get to this point, and then continue, or to just get here and continue going downwards. That's interesting because when it comes to the dollar, you just can't. The dollar is the world currency of the world power, right? You literally, we don't really predict it per se, right? We just flow with it, whatever is happening to it. But based on whatever is happening in dollar, so let's look at how it's going to impact currencies, right? So let's look at the Euro USD. So I've been on a sell on Euro USD personally. I've been on a sell. I think I reached somewhere around $3,000 on this trade. I entered this sale sometime early hours of today or so, I think in the morning. So, and I had it like 1 to 2.6. So I'm already up. I think I reached around 3K. Yeah, 4K. I can't even recall, but I think around between 3 to 4K. So this should give me like 8-9K or so, just this particular position. So this is where I'm expecting it to get to this zone, right? And when it gets to this zone, this is also where we would now want to say, okay, I want to reevaluate this thing. I want to look at this thing and to be sure it's not giving me the wrong signals and stuff. So I'm going to be looking at this, right? So I said I love the 6 hours chart. So if it's not the 6 hours, I'm looking at the 1 hour. So let's look at an interesting 6 hours chart. So I'm expecting price to get into the zone, right? And on this zone is where we want to see price react. So if the dollar is going to buy from there, usually this is not like I'm not entering this trade currently. I'm just analyzing at this point, right? I'm not buying anything. Because I mean, why should you, like I said, why should you be buying when Trump is telling you otherwise? Trump is saying something else. So how dare you go against what Trump is saying? So literally just chilling and allow it to get priced in wherever it's going to get priced in. But this could be really cool. Very, really cool. All right. If it works, and the journey could just be up. So if you look at the 6 hours chart, so let me assume I want to use the 6 hours chart now, and then we've got from January, say the first. So this is the first bubble we've got. Okay. So we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I'm going to use like this whole level to calculate, that's 1, and then this level calculate 2, this 3, then this at 4, this at 5, then this is going to be 6, and then we're going to get a breakout. So what is interesting is, I think, right, I'm looking for the stochastic RSI. So if you look on the stochastic RSI, the 6 hours is oversold. The daily is oversold. So the 2 days and the 3 days time frame is currently being oversold. I'm looking at the weekly chart. So the weekly chart is still doing what it's doing, right? So this means there's a greater likelihood that the market is gonna, when it gets in here, we may be expecting it to buy. Maybe it's gonna get in here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Maybe the market closes and from next week it starts buying. That possibility is there for that. So that's like its impact on currencies, right? And then precious gold. What is going to happen? What's happening for gold? We're seeing the same thing, right? The same thing, the same structure. They are literally like very similar. I mean, gold is almost at my TP. Isn't that interesting? Like, I am impressed. I hope. Let me. I actually took several trades on gold as well. And for gold, the crazy thing, what I actually think for gold is insane, right? Don't take my word. What I think gold may even come as low as 31725. Although this is my TP, right, where I'm getting out of it. I entered a couple of positions on gold. I think the other position I entered was somewhere around. The other one I entered was here, and I used 380 as my stop. This was just my personal trades today, and just like my overview as well. But I'm just looking at the impact of whatever is going on and how it could like impact the rest of the markets. So if the journey continues, we're going to be getting gold down. Like when I mean down is we're talking gold making a new low, right? Because if you look at the structure on the, let's look at the structure from the daily. What you're seeing here, it's there's a proper retest on this zone. We've got like a proper retest on this zone somewhere around here. And then if you look from here to here, we've got a higher low, a higher high, and then we've got like a higher low as well, right? And then usually there's the concept of what is it called? We've got a concept of weeks and not weeks. To be honest, I've come to discover that sometimes it doesn't really matter. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. Weeks or not weeks, or weeks or not weeks. It doesn't. I don't really like give a fuck whether it's, because to some people this is like a new high I've been formed. Some people it doesn't. Honestly, to me, I just feel like that's all bullshit. So, based on what I presume, I won't be. We could get like get into this area as well. But whenever it gets there, we're going to, should I use the word, participate in the huddle and see how where the journey takes us. Well, if we were to look at the weekly time frame, this is very interesting levels, the 3000s region. And yeah, what I wrote about 3,500 is still going to happen. We're still going to get 3,500 and go. But we are currently in a pullback, which is going to get settled maybe tomorrow or early next week. And then we're going to get a new journey to continue going outwards. So this is gold. Now let's look at crypto, right? Crypto, Mr. Bitcoin. Now, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, we are told that when the dollar is bearish, Bitcoin is bullish. And when the dollar is bullish, Bitcoin should be bearish. So ask yourself this question now. If that is true, why is Bitcoin going up when the dollar is going up? Is it not supposed to go down? Is it not supposed to go down based on this? I mean, this is a pure method that has been for years now. The correlation between the dollar and then the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin should be going down. Why isn't it going down? Now, you would know this answer if you've always been listening to the things I teach, and especially when I talk about the correlation of the financial world. And I started with in teaching notes. And for you to if you really understand the correlation, you need to really know the history of what we call forex, right? And how trading began in the sense of when bonds were the thing, right? From bonds, how does bond impact yields? From bonds, how does bonds impact yields? And then this is how the market moves. The first bond feels the impact of the market. That's the first asset, and then we got yields, right? And then from there, you now move to currencies having that impact, and then you start having commodities having that impact as well. And then we're not talking about cryptos having that impact. So crypto is always like the last guy to feel the impact of the dollar. So this means that if the dollar is buying right now and every other asset is feeling it, get ready because Bitcoin is about to feel it as well. So do not be carried away with so much confusion and excitement. But here's what I think, right? Here's what I think. I gave us an entry the early hours of today, and that entry is still very sweet and very valid. Although I want to do something very risky. Remember, I was talking about we getting to as high as 102,500, right? So I want to do something very risky. So you don't have to follow what I want to do though. But if you see here, I gave us this entry around 96,600 levels, which is still very varied, around 96,600. And then I gave us another entry around 94,600 as well. 96,600, 94,600, around those two ranges. Both entries are still very much valid. At certain point in time, Bitcoin is going to get there. So this is what I think is should happen. Maybe Bitcoin is going to get to my target area, which I talked about, which is 102,500. Clearing 102,500. This is 102. This high here is 102,500 level. So if Bitcoin clears above it, I'm going to take a very risky trade. But this is one thing. And this trade I'm going to take is very risky. Like there's a likelihood that I may get stopped out. But I mean, trade is about risk, right? So it is what it is. So I may get stopped out. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a very smaller amount of money than the amount I would have initially wanted to use. My friend will say Lambo or Limbo. That's the incredible. I'm coming. Okay. So this is what I expect for BTC. So I expect it to get claim my targets, which is 102,500 and go maybe this high. So if I increase this, this is gonna be like here. I want to take a short trade from here, like shorting around this level, as you can see on my screen. But I'm going to raise a small amount, so if it happens, I will not cry that much. But this is why I think it's going to be a wise trade for me, is because my goal is not necessarily to overall. This is what look at this part of this Nigeria here. So this is what I'm expecting, right? To let me. Okay, let's look at it together from this zone. So I want it to go high, and then I feel like once it goes high, it's going to come down and it's going to activate. You see this buy entry I gave us, this buy entry will be activated, right? So my what I'm thinking in my head, I'm just bringing it to my own thinking, right? What I'm thinking is like, okay, let me gamble a little bit here. I mean, if it goes, it goes. If I gamble a bit here, if it could come into this area and triggered me, and then but now if it comes here and trigger me, The target was 99,600, which is 1 to 4 RR. Maybe the target could be 101 this time around, or let me set the target to be 100k, 100 600. It's showing 166. So let me remove it from 666. I beg, because the number 666 is a very scary one. Let me see the 100 600. So 100 600 is going to be 1 to 5 RR. So if it comes here and activates 1 to 5 RR for me, that's going to be good. So I feel like we're going to have a failure swing here. This could be wrong, right? But I feel like we're going to have a failure swing here, and then it's going to come down again, and it's going to activate this level here. And if you activate this level here, I'll still have my targets, and then with that. So the journey to 90k is, like I said, at some point, Bitcoin is definitely going to be coming to 90k, but it's not going to be a straight journey to 90k. It's not going to be a straight journey to 90k. It won't be. Instead, this is what is going to happen. So probably by tomorrow, which is TGIF Friday, we may get this guy give this entry, like go way high. And you know, when the Friday market closes, the market is going to close bullish. The CME gap, whatever, on Bitcoin may close bullish. And when that happens, the weekend may decide to sell down, and some sell activities happen the weekend. What happens again? That on Sunday we open with a bullish gap, and then it continues to go up. Blah blah blah. I'm just like rambling. Don't mind my rambling, but I'm looking at this for BTC. So the journey to 90k is not going to be like immediately. This is what I'm expecting. So now this is the thing that I could have in mind. The second thing I could have in mind is, what if it doesn't come to 90k? What if it just comes here and just continues going high? Fine, we don't have a problem, because that means, one, I've made profit from the sell, right? Two, we are still going to be in the buy. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunities. What do I have to do? Just to sit on my ass and wait for the market to come to me, and then I smash, right? I smash. So let's assume I'm trading with like, we've got this baby boy flying. Baby boy, he's hungry. So this means all season is here, right? So this validates our thesis that all season is here. And then now this is what may most likely happen for Ethereum going forward. So we're having, first of all, what you're seeing forming here is another interesting head and shoulders, right? Here, this is the head, this is the left shoulder, the right shoulder is forming, which is very interesting. So when the right shoulder is forming, you could see this. In fact, let me remove this. Let me extend this level, right? You can see this. So this means if this guy decides to, so because since we're expecting BTC to go that high, let me remove that cell. That means our uncle, our brother, sister, or our sister, Ethereum may go to that level, and then probably it's going to decide to pull back from there. I mean, it is what it is. What will happen will happen. And here, so these are like zones, right? Each of these lines, every line I have is very important. You can see. Usually, I use these lines sometimes to scalp the market, because most times when I fix those lines, market always reacts from this level. Those are like levels I copied out from the order books, right? So market always reacts from there. So let's just assume it reacts from any of the two lines above. If it comes here, it gives an entry for a continuation, right? This could now be that sweet entry to this area. So this is what I want to look out for. I want to look out for this. So on another funny and is, this could go up and then even not just come here and move, we could decide to. So, but overall, we'll only treat Ethereum based on what Bitcoin does. That's just the fact. Based on what Bitcoin does, that's how we're going to treat Ethereum. It's always been that way. If not, we may get smacked terribly, terribly. So overall, this is what you this is what I think, this is what I'm watching for, this is what I'm looking at as well. So hopefully we get any of those interesting entries. I'm gonna be watching the market. I've got a friend of mine. I think if you have my WhatsApp number, I posted. A friend of mine is hosting his. I'm gonna be speaking for his private community in like an hour from now, 15 minutes from now. I should be speaking for him in his private community. I think if you own a business, you're a business owner, you can register for it. It's going to be an amazing time with them. I'm going to be sharing a lot of things like that. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm barely having time to always on the type sometimes in post this season is because I'm engaged a lot with my physical businesses and they are doing really very well. I mean, the crypto is not the goal, yeah. Crypto is not the vision. It's just what could help you amplify your goal, what could help you amplify your vision. And if you have that understanding, you literally make money and then you diversify into your business and stuff. So a business owner, make sure you're part of that training. It's gonna literally help you. Literally help you. Register on it. I think I posted it on my stories. Kind of register for it and be a part of it because I'm gonna be speaking or teaching for him this evening. So let's watch. I'm gonna be watching the market to see what it gives us today, and then what can the market give us tomorrow as well. So you want to like literally get this entry. So you're trading. So for those who trade, I think for those who trade forex, the long opportunities may come in by next week. But I think for the rest of today into tomorrow, it's just short opportunities. And then for those who trade BTC, cryptos, we've got both. Majorly, the longs are like the high probability, right? And we only have one short possibility there, which is low probability. I could literally get stopped out on that one as well. So, but that's basically what I'm looking at as well for both of them. I mean, that is that. That is that for now. And then when we get that journey, we make new highs, and it's what it is, guys. It is what it is. It is what it is. I wish you success on your making money journey and maximizing the opportunities in the seasons. And I mean, let's make money. Let's be happy, bullish, and the bull and enjoy the bull. And it is what it is. Bye for now, everyone.